Good morning, one and all. In this video lesson, we will mainly focus on the errors in measurement. So, while taking measurements, even though if you take more and more accurate machine, but we cannot measure 100% true value without any error. Now, in this video lesson, we will mainly focus on the different types of errors which may occur in measuring instrument. So what are the different types of errors which may occur that we will look into in this video lesson. So in the previous classes, we have started our discussion regarding the measurements of electrical and electronic quantities. So in that one, we have discussed the basics of measuring instruments. We have focused mainly on regarding the important terminology like accuracy and precision, resolution, sensitivity of a measuring instrument. And then we come across the classification of measuring instruments as analog and digital instruments. And the analog instruments are further classified as absolute and secondary instruments. And the secondary instruments are further classified as indicating type instruments and recording type instruments and integrating type instruments. So after classification, we have discussed regarding the differences between absolute instruments and secondary instruments. Then we come across the required things like essentials of indicating instruments to move the pointer and to get the exact value and to get the reading in a optimum time. So what are the different tasks are essential for an indicating instruments like a deflecting torque. So it is the torque which will move the pointer from initial position, and controlling torque. This controlling torque will oppose the pointer movement, and when the deflecting torque will be equal to controlling torque, the pointer will stay at steady state position. And the last one is damping torque. So whenever this TD is equal to TC, the pointer will oscillate at final deflecting position. But to remove the oscillations of the pointer to get accurate value of reading in a short time, we are providing damping torque. So what is the importance of these torques, and by which configurations we can provide the deflecting torque, controlling torque, damping torque, we have discussed in the previous classes. In this today's video class, we will mainly focus on the errors in measuring instruments. Before that, we will briefly discuss important terminology. Accuracy is defined as the closeness of measured value to a standard value. So how accurate the measurement is will be according to the term accuracy. Accuracy is defined as the closeness of measured value to a standard value. Closeness of measured value to a standard value is called accuracy. So let us take an example. If we weight a box and noted that weight of box as 3.1 kgs, but the true value of the box is 9 kgs. When we measure, we got the reading as 3.1 kgs, but the true value of the box is 9 kgs. In that case, our measurement is not accurate. Suppose if we got around 8.9 kgs or 9 kgs or 9.1, So in that case, the reading is accurate. So like that, we will tell whether the machine is accurate or not. And second one is the important terminology in measuring instruments is regarding precision. Precision is defined as the closeness between two or more measured values to each other. Closeness between two or more measured values to each other. Precision means the repeatability of the instrument. That means the repeatability. Suppose if we got a reading and next if we measure the same instrument for the same quantity, then we got reading which is more closer to them, then we can tell the machine is precise. The measurement is precise. Suppose if we take same example and we get the readings like 3.1 kgs, 3.2 kgs, 3.22 kgs, and 3.0 kgs. So all readings what we are getting are closure one. So whatever may be the actual true value, it may be 5 kgs, 3 kgs, 10 kgs, whatever. But the readings what we are getting are closure. So 3.1 is closer to 3.2. So this 3.1 reading we got by measuring is closer to 3.2, and 3.2 is closer to 3.22. Similarly, this 3.22 is almost closer to 3.4. So all these readings are closer one, and that's why we may tell the measurement is a precise. So please note the accuracy and precision are two independent terms. Some measurement may be accurate but may not be precise, and another vice versa if a measurement is not accurate but precise. So you can vary accurate but not precise, or vice versa. So accordingly, the accuracy and precision of a meter measurement will be like that. Both are not similar, both are different. Accuracy is the closeness with the true value. Accuracy is the closeness of reading with respect to true value, and precision is the closeness between two or more measured values. Okay. So now, as we discussed, every machine is not accurate one. So because of that, definitely there will be a chance of error. So in this one, we got three figures. Here we are having our target, and when we are throwing the balls, so all the balls are kept in this area, So actual value will be at this point, but with the action, what we got readings at these positions. So all are at the same, almost the same location, but which is far away from the target, far away from the target. So that's why this is less accurate and more precise. More precise. In this case B, if you see all balls are in the same target required area and all are in the close position. So it will be more precise and more accurate. If we see here, all are placed in different locations and far away from the target. So in this third case, so this is less precise and less accurate. Now we will go for errors. Actually, in this video lesson, we will mainly focus on the what is error and what are the different types of errors. That is gross error. Mainly errors are classified as gross error, systematic error, random error. We will look into these errors in brief in this video lesson. Actually, before understanding error, we should know two terminology, that is true value and measured value. Actually, the error is the deviation of measured value with respect to true value. Error is the deviation of measured value from the true value. So, before understanding the concept of error, we should know the definition of true value and measured value. So, actually, we are not getting true value in one reading. So we are calculating true value by taking a more number of readings. Then we are averaging that average value of more number of measured values will be the true value. So in experimental, we are calculating. We are doing so many number of experiments for calculating the measured value. By calculating the measured value more number of times, by taking the average, we are calculating true value. It is not possible to determine the true value of a quantity by experiment means. True value may be defined as the average value of an infinite number of measured values. An infinite number of measured values. When average deviation due to various contributing factors will approach to 0. So actually true value is the average of infinite number of measured values. Measured value. Measured value is the output of one measurement. So whenever we are measuring one quantity, we are getting one value. So that is the measured value, and it is defined as the approximated value of true value. It can be found by taking means of several measured readings during an experiment, by applying suitable approximations on physical conditions. Now we will define error. As we know, measured value and true value. Error is the difference between the measured value and the true value. So error is defined as the difference of measured value and the true value of the quantity. So we can write the error as dA is equal to AM minus AT, where dA is the error and AM is the measured value and AT is the true value. Error is defined as the difference between the measured value and true value. So for the given meter, what we are doing, we are applying correction. So correction is nothing but the negative of error. Negative of error will be the correction that we are applying to the measured value to get the true value. And now we will see the classification of errors. The errors may arise from different sources and are usually classified into following types. These are gross errors, systematic errors, and random errors. The gross errors are normally happening due to human mistakes. Human mistakes. Suppose a person is reading the value and after some time he is noting down. So he is sitting in one location, is observing the reading, and after some time, after 5 minutes or 10 times, he is going to the place in a record room and he is noting down the readings. Suppose if he has observed the reading of 110 volts, but he has noted the value as 101 volts. 101 volts. So like that, the error which is occurring due to human mistakes, the operator mistakes. Suppose we have to measure a reading of 80 volts, around 80 volts, and the ranges we are having in the form of 0 to 100 volts, and 0 to 50 volts, and 0 to 300 volts. And the operator is taking the range of 0 to 300 volts. 0 to 300 volts. But actually, because of that, the reading may not be accurate. We have to choose a proper range of meter, 0 to 100 volts instead of 0 to 300. So like that, the mistakes which are occurring due to uh, negligence of operator, or due to human mistakes, or due to uh, the errors which are occurring due to the persons who are operating or handling the equipment. Like instead of placing the equipment in vertical manner, the person places in horizontal manner. So like that, that those are the errors which are occurring are called grass errors. Grass errors, and similarly, systematic errors. Systematic errors can be due to uh, not operating equipment in a proper manner. Suppose if you want to measure the temperature, and instead of placing the thermometer inside inside the tongue, if we place some other location in our body, definitely the reading which we are getting is somewhat lower. So by not choosing the proper method, so because of that, here we are having three types again classified. We are going to discuss systematic error and the random error. Random error for which the cause is unknown. Suppose we have manufactured the error, we have manufactured the meter, and we have tested. After testing the meter, we have placed in measurement classes due to the weather conditions, due to temperature, humidity. The error which may present is called random error. Random error. We cannot 100% alleviate this error. We will minimize by taking average of number of readings. By calculating the average value, will minimize the random error. So we are going to discuss these errors in detail. Mainly errors are classified as three types: gross errors, systematic errors, and random errors. Now we will see gross error. This classification. So errors are mainly classified as systematic error, gross error, and random error. And the systematic errors are further classified as instrumental error, environmental error, and observational error. Instrumental error, environmental error, and observational error. And these instrumental errors may be due to loading effect, or misuse of instrument, or inherent shortcomings. So due to aging of the instrument. So like that, mainly classified: gross error, systematic error, random error. And this systematic error further classified as instrumental error, environmental error, and the observational error. So we will discuss in detail. First of all, we will focus on gross error. Gross error. So this gross error occurs because of human mistakes. Human mistakes. For example, consider a person using an instrument takes a wrong reading, or they can record incorrect data. Such type of errors comes under gross error. So as we discussed, the errors which are occurring due to human mistakes. The person who is operating may have to be very cautious so that these gross errors will be minimized. The gross error only avoided by taking readings carefully. So we have to be very alert while taking the readings to reduce the gross errors. Gross errors. Let us take an example. In an experiment reads 31.5 degrees reading while the actual value is 21.5. So in that display, it is 21.5 degrees, but due to operator's mistake, he has read the value as 31.5 degrees centigrade. This will happen due to oversight. Oversight. The experimenter has to take wrong readings and because of which the error occur in the measurement. So this is due to oversight. Instead of 21.5, he has taken the reading as 31.5. So we have to alleviate so this kind of mistakes. So these are called gross error. And the gross error may be due to here we are having 0, but the pointer is initially not showing 0. The error will occur in the measurement result of if proper 0 setting is not there. So here some error will be present due to the setting is not proper. And the second method is the gross error will occur in the measurement if the pointer is deflecting between two scaling points. So here we are having 2 points. Here we are having 2 points. Left side we are having 1 point. The right side we are having. So in between the pointer is there. So because of this, the operator may not take proper values. So this will cause the gross errors, and the parallax errors will come in the measurement results in the pointer is not set in vertical position. Actually, sometimes the meter may be in horizontal position. So because of that, the observer may not take proper reading because of the parallel error, parallax errors may present in the reading. So these are the one of the examples for cross error. So we have to remove these errors while operating the equipment. And to remove the cross error, we have to take two methods into consideration. They are the reading should be taken very carefully. So while taking the readings, the observer has to be very much alert. Two or more readings should be taken of measurement quantity. So instead of taking one reading, two or more readings can be taken so that we'll get more clarity. The readings are taken by different experimenter. Instead of one person, suppose three members are doing experiment, so one at a time. Three members may take three readings so that we get more clarity and we can remove the cross errors. So in this, we have understood that the gross errors are mainly due to human mistakes and incorrect adjustment and improper application and misleading of instrument. So because of these problems, we are getting the gross errors. Now we will switch over to systematic error. Systematic error is the repetitive error. So if we want to rectify this error, and again if we do the measurement process by using the system, then again we will get the same error in the present in the measurement. So this is called systematic error. So see here, uh, while measuring the temperature, so here the thermometer is touching the bottom of the breaker, and here the uncalibrated thermometer, it is not touching the bottom of the thermometer. So here this is due to by measurement process, and here this is due to by process. So this will cause improper measuring may cause the systematic error. We have to take appropriate precautions while taking the measurement, so to remove the systematic errors. And the systematic errors are mainly classified into three categories. They are instrumental error, environmental error, and observational error. Instrumental error, environmental error, and observational errors. The instrumental errors are the errors which may arise due to three main reasons. They are inherent shortcomings of instruments, misuse of instrument, loading effect of instrument. Inherent shortcomings of instrument and misuse of instrument and loading of instrument. So while connecting the circuit diagram, we have to take the measuring instruments in a proper manner. Otherwise, it may cause the loading effect on the existing circuit. And we have to choose the proper range of instrument as we discussed. Suppose if you are measuring a 45 volts, you have to choose a rating of 0 to 50 volts instead of 0 to 100 volts. And due to aging also, the readings may not be occur. So we have to properly calibrate the existing instrument. So first one is inherent shortcomings of instruments. So such type of errors are inbuilt in instrument because of their mechanical structure. They may be due to manufacturing, calibration, or operation of the device. These errors may cause the error to read low or too low or too high. So while designing the instrument itself, there may be some problems. So because of that, continuously it is giving that errors. So we have to properly manufacture, and we have to properly calibrate while operating the device. For example, if an instrument uses a weak spring, then it gives high value of measuring quantity. Because the controlling torque is low, then it will deflect more, so it will indicate more value. So the error occurs in the instrument because of friction or hysteresis loss. So here the error will be occurring due to friction or hysteresis loss. And second one is misuse of instrument. Misuse of instrument. The error occurs in the instrument because of fault of the operator. The operator is not operating in a proper manner. Because of that, it may cause the error. A good instrument used in unintelligent way may cause enormous result. For example, the misuse of instrument may cause the failure to adjust the zero of instruments. Pure initial adjustments using lead to too high resistance. These improper practices may not cause permanent damage of the instrument, but all the same they cause errors. Next one is loading effect. It is most common type of error which may caused by instrument in measurement work. For example, When the voltmeter is connected to a high resistance circuit, it gives misleading of reading. And when it is connected to a low resistance circuit, it gives a dependable reading. This means voltmeter has a loading effect on the circuit. So whenever we are measuring, the meters will cause some loading effect on the existing circuit and it may cause some error. The error caused by the loading effect can be overcome by using meters in a proper manner. Let us take an example. For measuring low resistance by using ammeter voltmeter method, a voltmeter having very high value of resistance should be used. To measure low resistance, we are using voltmeter and ammeter method. So by calculating the voltage and ammeter readings, we will calculate R is equal to V by I. So in that, we have to choose an voltmeter which is having more resistance, so that the value of measurement may be appropriate, because the in parallel branch voltmeter is not allowing any current as it is having high resistance. If we choose high value of resistance voltmeter, so from this we understood that the instrumental errors are due to aging effect, loading error, and guaranteed accuracy error, hysteresis effect, and misuse of instrument, inherent shortcomings, etc. Now environmental error. So these errors are due to the surrounding environment like temperature, humidity, pressure, dust, everything will cause the error in operation. These errors are due to external conditions of the measuring devices. Such types of errors mainly occurs due to the effect of temperature, pressure, humidity, dust, vibration, etc. Or it may be due to magnetic or electrostatic effects which are placed beside to the measurement. The corrective measures employed to eliminate or to reduce these undesirable effects. Now, the arrangement should be made to keep the conditions as constant as possible, using the equipment which is free from these effects, by using techniques which eliminate the effect of these disturbances. So we have to choose the equipment in a proper manner which can able to operate in these circumstances, and we have to take care while measuring environmental conditions, surrounding conditions are in a proper manner, by using techniques which eliminate the effect of these disturbances and by applying computed corrections. So from this we understood that the environmental errors are due to temperature, humidity, and the stray fields which are due to the soil conditions or any external magnetic fields, so that will cause the environmental errors. And next one is the observational errors. So whenever after measurement process, while taking the reading, we have to be at most care. So we have to before taking reading on the meter, we have to check our face is available, our face is visible on the glass of the meter. Then and then only we will take the appropriate reading. And some meters like MA meters has to be placed in vertical manner uh, to operate the gravitational control method in a proper manner. So for that we have to place it in a vertical manner, and we have to take the reading without any parallax error. Without any parallax error. So that's why we have to utmost care while taking the readings. We have to avoid these observational errors. So observational errors are such type of errors which are due to wrong observation of the reading. So meter is perfect, but as we are not observing in a proper manner, these errors are present. There are many sources of observational errors. Observational errors are occurring due to many sources. Let us take an example. A pointer of a voltmeter resets slightly above the surface of scale. Thus, an error occurs because of parallax unless the line of vision of observer is exactly above the pointer. To minimize the parallax error, highly accurate meters are provided with mirrored scales. Mirrored scales. So as we are having mirrored scales, so we may take utmost care while taking the reading. So we have to observe our face is visible on the glass. Then and then only we will take the reading. So in that case, we will get the exact value of the measurement. So these are the observational errors. So these errors will be occurring due to wrong observation of the reading. So next one is the last one, the random error. So even though if we take proper precautions with respect to designing or manufacturing of the equipment and by taking alertness in readings, uh, by taking proper care with the surroundings of the meter and properly choosing the pointer, we can alleviate the gross error as well as the systematic error. But some errors which may occur when we are taking the readings, so those errors for which the cause is unknown are called random errors. Random errors. So these errors we cannot alleviate. These errors can be removed by taking more number of readings. So to remove these random errors, we have to conduct the same experiment a number of times, and then we will take the average of the uh, readings. Then we will calculate the measured value, so that we will remove the random errors to some extent. So the random errors, the errors which is caused by the sudden change in atmospheric conditions. Sudden change in atmospheric conditions. Such type of errors is called random errors. Suddenly the room temperature may change, may increase or decrease. So when the temperature changes in the circuit, the resistance will change with respect to temperature. So because of that, the measured value will be differed from the exact value of the measuring instrument. Exact value of the measurement. So the error will be due to sudden change in atmospheric condition is called a random error. These types of errors remain even after removal of the systematic error. So even though if you are taking utmost care, these random errors are present. Hence, such type of errors are called residual error. Residual errors are the random errors. Examples for these random errors are when weighing yourself on a scale, you position yourself slightly differently each time. Differently each time. Suppose in weighing machine, we are standing on leftmost place sometimes. Sometimes we will stand rightmost place. Sometimes we will stand in the middle. Because of that, there will be slight differences in the measurements. So when we are taking the reading of a volume of a flask, you may read the value from different angles each time. So because of that also, there may be error. So the type of error is called the random errors. Random error. So the random errors causes one measurement to differ slightly from the next. It comes from unpredictable changes during the experiment. So we don't know cause for the random error, and we cannot remove completely the random errors. The systematic error always affects the measurements the same amount or by the same proportion, provided that reading is taken the same way each time. It is predictable. It is predictable. So this is regarding systematic error. The random error cannot be eliminated from the experiment, but most of the systematic errors can be reduced. So always the random error will be present in the measuring process. We cannot remove this error to 100%. We can reduce the systematic errors by taking precautions while taking the reading and while designing the measuring instrument. So that in measurement process we will reduce the systematic error. So in this today's video lesson, we have mainly discussed regarding the error which is occurring in the measurement process. So actually we have started our discussion with respect to error. So error is nothing but the deviation of measured value from the true value. So error will be equal to measured value minus true value, and these errors are classified like gross error, systematic error, and random error. Gross error, systematic error, and random error. These systematic errors are further classified into instrumental error, environmental error, and the error due to loading effect. So this classification and how these errors are occurring and how to alleviate the what are the remedies for these errors we have discussed in this today's video lesson. Now let us attempt a small quiz on this errors topic. Which of the following is caused by careless handling? Which of the following is caused by careless handling? Option A, systematic error. Option B, gross error. Option C, random error. Option D, none of the above. Which of the following is caused by careless handling? So, due to careless handling, the error which is occurring is called gross error. Gross error. So, option is B. So, answer is B. Gross errors are mostly due to lack of knowledge, judgment, and care on the part of the experiment. So that is the gross error is caused by careless handling. So option B, gross error. Next question. A system will be error free if we remove all systematic error. So here they have given a statement. A system will be error free if we remove all systematic error. So for these options are option A true, option B false. So what they are telling is, so if we remove the systematic error, then the measuring instrument is 100% correct. So the statement is false because we are having along with systematic error, we are having cross error and random error. So we have to remove those errors also. So actually the measurement system may not be 100% perfect everything. You can reduce to some extent only. So answer is option B false. Random errors will remain in the system even we remove all systematic errors. Random errors are also known as residual errors. So those are always present. Next question. Which of the following errors is caused by poor calibration of instrument? Which of the following error is caused by pure calibration of the instrument? Option A random error, option B cross error, option C systematic error, option D precision error. Which of the following error is caused by poor calibration? So instrumental error. Instrumental error will be coming on systematic error. So option C. Option C systematic error. Systematic errors are caused by poor calibration of the instruments. Next question. Zero error is an indication of instrumental error. The statement they have given, zero error is an indication of instrumental error. Option A true, option B false. So actually while setting the pointer initially before measurement we have to place at 0. Sometimes it may not be located at 0, it will be somewhat uh, before or after 0. So that error is called a zero error that comes under instrumental error. So the statement is true, option A. Zero error refers to a false indication of an instrument when the true value is 0 and the zero error can be treated as instrumental error. Instrumental error. So this is regarding the errors in measuring instruments. So mainly we have started our discussion regarding error and we have gone through the different classification of errors as cross error, systematic error and random error and how these are operating, how these errors are occurring and what are the examples for that and how to remove these errors we have discussed in this video lesson. And if you have any queries, please you can ask or you can put that question as in comment box so that we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you all of you for your valuable presence throughout the video lesson. Thank you all of you. So this is the partial completion of chapter 1, basics of measuring instruments. In the next class we will switch over to chapter 2.